Hey everybody, so today we are going to talk about mind maps. Mind maps are an amazing tool in self-branding because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to think of what to talk about. Everybody says talk about things that resonate with yourself, but sometimes it feels like you're a little bit put on the spot. So I'm going to go over making a mind map with you, and you can do this at home. I'm doing it on a dry erase board so that way it's big and you can see it. I do it often on paper. You can remake them so that you can kind of clean them up, and you know, we always are evolving as people, and so our mind map is going to look very different today from what it will look like, you know, a couple months from now. So that being said, I'm going to aim the camera over here at my board. There we go. So a mind map is always, you are the core of your mind map. So we're going to start with a big bubble in the middle, and it is going to be you. I am Janessa Mesker, because all of this revolves around you. And to be most honest, I actually, of course this isn't going to erase properly, I actually typically put a heart at the middle of my mind map. I don't know why. I just like to do it that way. So here we have me at my center. And then you're going to start out with things that you're interested in. I am very interested in art. I don't know why I was drawing an eye. So art is definitely one of my big interests. If you've ever watched my page, you always see lots of artistic things shared. Nature is another really big one. I love to be outside. I love the beach. I love the woods. I love mountains. I can find beauty in the desert, but I don't particularly love to spend time there. It's either like super hot or super freezing, and neither of those is my favorite. Don't turn the volume up, please, son. And another big thing that I'm really big on is self-empowerment. I really like to help people feel empowered to be who they truly are. Another big one for me is women's empowerment. Because I think it is important for women to feel empowered. And then we're going to go off on those, and I'm going to bust out another color here, and we're going to detail them a little bit more deeply. So the types of art I like are usually like trees, fairies, really honestly mythical creatures in general. Repurposed stuff. I love some art out of repurposed. I know I'm spelling purposed wrong. As long as you know what your mind map says, nobody's grading this. Repurposed random stuff. Women's empowerment. One of my strongest feelings is that you can be feminine and powerful. I feel like a lot of women's empowerment and women's rights activists and whatnot really push the idea that being feminine is not being powerful. And I like pretty things, and I'm powerful, so I like that. And on self-empowerment, I like to emphasize that you can be both. You don't have to just be, you know, one or the other. You don't have to stick to a label. Labels don't matter is a good one. And so in nature, like I said, I like the beach, I like the mountains, I like the forest. So now when it comes down to anything that I post on my wall, in the aspect of self-branding, you want people to recognize you, and you want people to recognize your posts and your things. If you notice, most of my inspirational quotes are going to be photos of nature that kind of coincide with whatever that quote is. I use a lot of the same fonts when I'm doing word swag. I pretty much have like 3 fonts that I try to stick to unless they really don't work for the piece I'm working on. Most of my quotes that I use are either self-empowerment or women's empowerment. Another big one is mindset. I've really been getting more and more into maintaining a good mindset, and the offshoots of that are going to be positivity and manifestation and I had another good, and empowerment, obviously. Empowering mindsets. So, I need to backtrack here. This one's going to come out over this way because we need more room. Another thing that I am really strong about is family and your life circle. So for me, my life circle is mostly my family. I have a giant family. But for some people, their life circle isn't their family. Some people, it's chosen family, I guess is the better term. And so in that, it would be parenting and, you know, appreciating your family. So this is not only a map of my mind and my personality and who I am at my heart and at my core. I guess that's really why I like to put a heart in the middle, because I feel like your heart is your core. And so everything that is in my mindset and that is, you know, in this mind map is staying true to how I feel in my heart, and it is staying true to myself at my core. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I first learned this activity, my mindset, or my mind map rather, I did it on a piece of paper, and I've done it on this whiteboard and scrubbed it off and whatnot. It did not, I was not this on, I didn't even know what to write. It took a lot of self-reflection and meditation and figuring it out. I had gotten really lost in my life, and it took a while to find me again, and now I'm here and powerful and ready to roll. And so hopefully this is one of the exercises that really helped me realize how far gone I was and how important it was for me to get my head back in the game and to really reconnect with myself and my core and who I am as a person, because I really was struggling with that. And so, yes, mind map, make one. You know, and you can share your mind map with your, you know, with your audience if you want. You don't have to, obviously. For me, it can get very personal, because you can then, you know, offshoot off of these things. One of the guys on one of my old teams said anytime he thought of something he wanted to add to his mind map, he would add it into the notes in his phone, and when he got home, he would make more offshoots off of it, off the offshoots, off the offshoots, off the offshoots. And that's great. And then, you know, once a week he would start out fresh and just transfer everything over so that he could kind of clean it up and tighten everything in. And that is really a great way to start out with your self-branding, is make yourself a mind map. Let me see if I can zoom this in for you. Make yourself a mind map, figure yourself out, and really kind of hone in on who you are at your core, because that is what's going to help you resonate with an online audience. And honestly, that's kind of what this is all about. As much as I love the products that I sell online, my biggest thing for motivating people to work online is the work that you do on yourself in order to put yourself out there. It has been an amazing transformation for me over the past year. I just, you know, I expect to keep just kind of growing and blossoming, and I hope that this is really useful for you. So have a great night, guys. Bye.